Mark, we're down at the Bike and Triathlon show down in here in London. I always like to meet interesting people, and you're very interesting, and you've got a very interesting brand, Veloforte. I don't know if you could just tell us a little bit about the brand, how it came about.
Sure. So we're brand new. We've been in market about a year or more, just a little bit. It came from a very ancient Italian fortifying recipe, which is a product called Panforte, which is a delicacy that people now get at sort of Christmas time, that kind of thing. It actually has much more humble beginnings. It was the fortifying kind of collection of ingredients that the Roman legions would put together, fruits, nuts, berries, honeys, to power themselves through forests in Europe and wherever they were. And we've now taken that and recognised its capabilities at a nutritional level, 100% natural, so there are no processed ingredients, there are no fillers and preservatives and so on. We've taken that and turned it into a much more sort of contemporary sort of endurance product. And it came from some of my own finding, really, that I needed to get back to some form after having an operation. Was riding the bike, trying to get back some strength, and there was really nothing you could buy on the shelves. It was all synthesized gloop and tubes and dehydrated powders and stuff you can't understand. So my wife is a cardiorespiratory specialist and an award-winning baker, so it's a very interesting concoction. That sort of coupled with my need to want to get only natural ingredients, I've just had a load of insides all repaired, meant that we looked in, I suppose, what was my kitchen cupboard, which was my family from Florence. The background of Panforte in Italy is something that all Italian families understand, but it is fruits, nuts, berries, honey. So we started making some for me, and I started realising this stuff's really pretty cool. I do a long ride with Rapha, the Manchester London ride, totally only fueled by my own little stash. Had no digestive issues, no upsets, no gripes, which is a very common thing with typically synthetic foods. They often give people it doesn't work very well on the inside. And anyway, so we take the idea forward, we turn it into some prototype product, we go to Mallorca, we give about 300 odd riders some food over about a 2 or 3 week period. Overwhelming success. We didn't really know what to expect, but it was, I mean, we were doing some gel amnesties, people turning up and saying, don't want this, I'll have that. So we come back from that event really very much encouraged about what we were doing, and almost as quickly Virgin get in touch. They were doing an event called the Strive Challenge, which is from Matterhorn down to Mount Etna, the whole length of Italy. They swim across the Straits of Messina, do a marathon run around. It's a huge event, 28 days, of which there were 300 or 400 riders as well. We hadn't had so many people for 28 days eating exclusively our food, so it was a great test for us. And again, it was overwhelming. We were having, literally people were phoning me up halfway through their event saying, thank God for this food. It was really amazing. So we come back and we take it to market, and now we can't make it up. It's been a great success for us. We have huge plans this year. We are the only natural product in the market to have the power ratio that we have. We're the only brand to have ever won the Great Taste Awards. We've won 2 this year, 2 golds this year. And it's an entirely natural, unsynthesized, unprocessed product. So there's a part of the market now where people are realizing they don't have to have plastic food. They can have something that's delicious, that's incredibly well-made, beautiful ingredients, and that has probably the highest performance characteristics of any products available.
And you were saying that the shelf life's actually quite good on it?
Yeah, so 9 to 12 months. So most natural products are 4 to 7 days ambient or refrigerated, so that tends to be a bit of a pain for people. Ours isn't, it's 9 to 12 months. You just keep it in the cupboard at home. I suppose works in a similar theory to like your grandmother's fruitcake bite. You know, you keep it from one Christmas to the next, it's still good the next year. So it has a similar idea to that. Yeah.
And what's the different flavours?
So we've got 3 different products. There are more coming this year. The first is what we call the Classico. This one is a citrus one, so fruits, citrus fruits, lemons, oranges. There's some spices, almonds, honey. Very good from an endurance point of view. 300 odd calories per bar, 70 gram bar, 50 grams of carbs, 4 or 5 protein, 5 or 6 fibre. So very nice balanced product. The Choco, this is predominantly dates with some cocoa, almonds, some ginger. Again, around about 300 calories per bar. I think it's 5 protein or 6 protein and 4 or 5 fibre. So very similar profile. This works really well. We're finding as a post endurance or exercise. It's not so much recovery in the sort of 30 grams of protein sense. It's only got 6, but it's got that satiety. It's got that lovely sort of treat feel to it that you have after an event. And the Debosco, this is sort of fruits of the forest. There's cranberries and strawberries and rosemary and lemon and all sorts of beautiful ingredients in here. Almonds and pistachios. Again, around about 300 calories, 6 protein, 4 or 5 fibre. So they all perform in a similar way. They also come in a bites bag format. So what we find is a number of our customers prefer to be able to eat little and often, sort of on the go. So this is essentially it's sort of pre-cut chunks, if you can see. So these are a great way to control your intake.